कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay, so now we are seeing this chapter 2 of the Upanishad. In many recensions this chapter is not there, and it is all given in poetry form, verses, whereas previously it was prose. The verses were not there. So we don't know exactly the origin, but we have Shraddha. Shraddha means faith, that it is given by the Rishi suddenly. And the Rishis have given in prose and poetry both. So now the Upanishad is called as Ātmā Upaniṣad. And we saw where he says the Atma word is used at 3 levels. For the physical body, Atma is called, the physical body is called as Atma. Then the Antakarana and Jiva is also called as Atma. And then Paramatma. 3 manifestations of the Atma. Now there is another word which is called as Brahman. The Brahman word is used, and the summation of Vedanta is Brahma Atma Aikyam. There is a oneness between Brahma and the Atma. Atma Brahma Aikyam. There is oneness between the two. So that Brahma word which is used in the Upanishads, in the literature, everywhere, that Brahma refers to the absolute reality. And this Atma now is introduced as the word here. And Atma, the Purusha has 3 manifestations of this Atma. There are different names: Bahyatma, Antaratma, Paramatma, like that. So now, what exactly is this Atma word and how is it related to Brahman? That is what is going to be told now in this number 1 of the second chapter, verse number 1 of the second chapter. Now first, before we see that verse, please pay attention to that word Atma, how it is used. See, in the previous chapter, the word Atma is used in relation to outside, inside and beyond. So, Bahyatma, Antaratma, Paramatma. But generally speaking, what does this word Atma refer to? That let us see a little bit. I was telling on the first day that we have what is called as Shuddha Chaitanya, which is called as Brahma, then Upayita Chaitanya, which is called as Jiva, and Upayita Chaitanya, which is here called as Sakshi, and Vishishta Chaitanya, which is called as Jiva. This we told on the first day. This Upahita Chaitanya, please remember that Upahita Chaitanya is only associated and only conditioned. But that Anyonya Adhyasa and identification has not yet taken place. That takes place at the level of Jiva. So here, that amount of that Shuddha Chaitanya, which is Brahma, Shuddha Chaitanya is Brahma, that amount of Shuddha Chaitanya associated with a BMI, conditioned by a BMI, that associated Shuddha Chaitanya is here called as Sakshi, that is called as Atma. That is the actual technical meaning of the word Atma. That's the difference between Atma and Brahma. But you have to please pay attention to a very important thing there. That is no different from Shuddha Chaitanya, because it is not yet identified, or it is not yet undergone that adhyas. Means superimpose. It means to say it has not yet taken on the limitations of the body, which happens only by identification. So it is only associated, right? Associated with or conditioned by, not identified with the BMI. Associated with the BMI. That is called as Upahita Chaitanya. That Atma, that amount of Shuddha Chaitanya is called as Atma. As Shuddha Chaitanya is called Brahma. Here as associated Chaitanya, it is called as Atma. It is also called as Sakshi. So this word technically refers to Sakshi really. But now that Sakshi and that Shuddha Chaitanya, Brahma, is one and same. That is what is going to be told in this next verse which we are saying, the first verse today. Ātmā Sañña Shiva Shuddhaha Eka Eva Dvaya Sada Brahma Rupataya Brahma Kevalam Pratibhasate. Ātmā Sañña Shiva Shuddha Eka Dvaya Eva Dvaya Sada. The name of Atma. Atma Sañña. Sañña means name, appellation. Sañña word. Sañña also means conception. The way something is conceptualized. So when we do not have a rupa of something, then we cannot have the conceptualization. Can only involve a nama, because what is the rupa of Atma? Atma rupa is arupa. Tulsidas calls it arupa, no rupa. It is arupa, but no rupa. So here it says Ātmā Sañña, the appellation, but the name of Atma is Shiva. The name of Atma is Shuddha. Two things. Atma is called as Shiva, and Atma is called as Shuddha. Shiva means Shiyate iti Shiva. Shiva is that in which all dwells. That in which all things dwell is called as Shiva. Now what is that in which all things dwell? Well, the self, existence. See, all ornaments dwell in gold, let us say. All ornaments dwell in gold. So if there were no gold, that ornament called as necklace or bracelet or ring or whatever, that would have had nothing to dwell in. It needs some substance, some material in which to dwell. So the shape of a ring or the shape of the chain or the shape of whatever needs something to dwell in. So the ornaments dwell in gold. Gold is a substratum. So in the same way here, Shiva is the substratum of the universe. And we studied before, the substratum of the universe is what? Existence only. Everything dwell in existence. That is easily seen by the fact that everything exists. So the name of Atma is Shiva. The name of Atma therefore is existence, in other words. The name of Atma is Shuddha. Shuddha means that which is devoid of any impurities. And I told you, the impurities are Mala, Vikshepa and Avarana. Those three impurities are there. So Atma is devoid of any of these impurities. Mala means Kama, Krodh, Mada, Lobha, Ityadi, all these which we know at the ordinary level. Desire and anger and greed and all the pride and abhiman and ego, and people have so many, all this world, and animals also, fear, that is also Mala. Human beings and animals both. Mala, that is all the ordinary things which we know on a daily basis. So, then Vikshepa means all the agitations and turbilations in the mind, unsettledness of the mind, they call Vikshepa. And the last of the Mala is called as Ajnana or Avarana, Tamas. So many words are given for that in various forms. Avarana, Ajnana, Tamas, ignorance, veiling, it is conceptualized in so many ways. So, it says, this Atma is devoid of any of these impurities. Eka eva dvaya sada, it is always one and non-dual, means one uniform, unbroken reality. This is this Atma. Now, Brahma Rupataya Brahma Kevalam Pratibhasate, and it shines forth as Brahman. So now, why we were calling it Atma and why we are calling it now Brahman? Well, it is called as Atma when seen with reference to the Upadhi, BMI, this Upadhi here. When seen with reference to that, when conditioned by that, when associated with that, it is called as. Now, just see, this space in this room is cordoned off by this wall and this wall, 4 walls, right? Because the space is associated with these walls, we call this space as Saraswati Nilayam space. It is associated with these walls. But by putting up these walls and cordoning off this space, have we in any way changed the nature of space? This space here and any of the outer space in intergalactic space, what is the difference? No difference. So this space associated with these walls has not in any way changed its nature. In the same way, Shuddha Chaitanya Brahma associated with the BMI, conditioned by the BMI, and this space is conditioned by these walls. Conditioned by the BMI in no way changes its nature from Shuddha Chaitanya. So, therefore, the second line says that Atma, see, in that state it is called as Atma. But that Atma is Brahma Rupataya Brahma Kevalam Pratibhasate. It means it shines as Brahma all the time. It didn't change its nature when it got associated with a BMI. It didn't in any way become depreciated or become less or powerless or any such thing. Nothing happened. It just, this space and its qualities remain the same. Means, like, for example, this space here has the ability to give a place to this watch, but the outer space outside has the same ability, and because this space became associated with these walls, it didn't lose that ability. It loses nothing. It remains exactly as is. And therefore it shines as Brahma. Even though it is called Atma, it shines as Brahma. That is what the first verse is telling. Now, in this Brahman, in the absolute reality, in this pure existence, which just now is called as Shiva, there is a whole world which appears. No? All of these different objects and things which make up a Jagat. Now see that in verse number 2 and 3 together we'll see. This Jagat is spoken about now. Jagat Rupataya Pyetat Brahmaiva Pratibhasate Vidya Vidyadi Bhedena bhava bhavadi bhedatah guru shishyadi bhedena brahmeva pratibhasate brahmeva kevalam shuddham vidyate tattvadarshane. This is a very nice couple of verses. See, one is speaking about Jagat. The first word in the verse which we just chanted is Jagat. Jagat rupataya api etat. Jagat, Jagat means the world of all the pairs of opposite, all the dualities, all the objects, all the easiest way to actually conceptualize Jagat is anything which is objectifiable or objectified. The other way to say that is anything which is known, anything which is an object, anything which is idam, this, as opposed to aham. There is idam, this, which is the object, this is called as idam, and there is aham, who is the subject, who knows the this, right? So idam vritti and aham vritti, Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharishi talks about. So now, anything which is objectified is called as idam. It is an object of our awareness. So that is Jagat. So that includes what now? That includes everything. Oh, what is left out from that? The whole universe in front of us is called as Jagat, right? This object. Now, that is the first word. Now the last word in that same couplet, Tattva Darshane. Tattva Darshane means upon the knowing of the Tattva, upon the knowing of reality. So now, see, the first word is the whole Jagat, countless varieties, right? And the last word is upon the knowing of the reality. When we know the reality, he says, Brahma eva kevalam shuddham vidyate tattvadarshane. And we come to know that the whole Jagat which we see in front of us is nothing but that Brahma. That is the idea. Upon the knowing of the reality, we come to know that the whole Jagat which we see is nothing but the reality shining as Jagat. So, like, I'll tell you how now. The fellow who makes, in Chaste village here, just very close to our place here, in this village, there are many potters. They make pots with clay. And when you go there and you try to get some of their secret, they will not give you. Every trade has its own secrets, So they make pot there. So when you go there, where they get the pot, and where they get the clay, Carlson Field, one of the fellows was telling me. I don't know where in Carlson Field they get the clay, but anyway, there may not be Carlson Field also. When you go in that shop, you see so many various objects, but all those objects are nothing but clay in the form of that object. The shop only has one thing, that is clay. So it is clay in the form of that object, clay in the form of the other object, and clay in the form of the other object, and clay in the form of all those objects. Now, clay, no matter what form it takes, that will still be Carlson Field clay. The texture, the nature, the composition, everything of that clay will remain the same. It may take whatever form it wants. Second thing is, the other way to look at that, the form of a pot is superimposed onto the clay, right? And this is a truism about the whole universe. Any form which is superimposed on any fundamental material, any form which is superimposed on that form cannot change the nature of the material. So if you take, cedar, they have some wood like this, cedar. I don't know if you have ever see that. Yeah. You take a knife, right? You just chip a piece of that and you taste that. That thing is bitter like anything. That is why termites don't eat it. This is bitter. Cedar. Trinidad cedar, not this Canadian cedar and all that. So now, if you take a piece of log like a cedar log, right? Bitter. And out of that log, you carve Lord Krishna. He is called as Adharam Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram, Nayanam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram. Everything is Madhuram. He is sweet. Everything about Krishna is sweet. Madhuradhipate Akilam Madhuram. So you carve Krishna out of this cedar. Look here. By superimposing the form of Krishna on cedar, which is bitter, even though he may be called Madhuradhipate. Madhuradhipate means he is the Lord of sweetness. You may call whatever you want to call, but that cedar will remain bitter. The superimposition of the form onto the material does not change the nature of the material. So now, in these two verses, this is the idea which is captured. We are seeing a Jagat, right, in front of us. Jagat rupataya api etat Brahma eva pratibhasate. In this Jagat, there is nothing but Brahman. It is Brahman which alone is there in the Jagat. The Jagat is made of Vidya avidya vedena, means have all the pairs of opposites of knowledge and ignorance. It is made of bhava and abhava, existence and non-existence. So there are things which we see, like for example, I exist. Then the horns on my head do not exist. That type of non-existence we're talking about. That's called a bhava and abhava. Or I am present. The horns on my head are not present. They call abhava, the absence. The horns on my head are absent. So in this world, we have these categories. When we say, in the next line also, Shishya and Guru. Guru Shishya Vedena. And see, Adi is given every time. Vidya Vidyadi Vedena. So that when you say Adi, knowledge and ignorance, and here Guru and Shishya, Adi, etc. And the other one is Bhava and Abhava Adi. Means every conceivable pair of opposites you can ever come up with is included in all of this. Hot and cold, big and small, rich and poor, victory and defeat, sukha and dukkha, means joy and sorrow. All of it. So this is Jagat. So what the mantra ends up saying now, okay, if you are seeing a Jagat with all the pairs of opposites, because there will be what? Life and death. There will be in the Jagat, life and death, things coming and going. There will be some things changing, some things not changing relative to the other. Like for example, the air in this room is changing. Air comes in and out. That one goes out, another one comes in, changing the air. But the space, not changing. So changed, something changing, something not changing. It is Jagat with all of its pairs of opposite. Then something's permanent, something's temporary in the Jagat. Insofar as the Jagat is concerned, relative to each other. So all the pairs of opposites are there. He says, whatever pair of opposite you are seeing, you are only seeing Brahman. So in Brahman there is change. In Brahman there is finitude. No, it means to say you are seeing change and you are seeing finitude. But I told you, it doesn't mean to say that because you are seeing it, that means it is there. It is like in a movie. Like in a movie, right? Not because you see Gabbar Singh kill Amitabh Bachchan, that means Amitabh Bachchan is now dead. You have to go and do his Shraddh. Because you see it happen? No. In this world also, I'll show you. You see, we take it. You know what has riveted man's delusion even more? I'll tell you, man's delusion even more has been riveted by science. But science is now finding itself in trouble also. How man's delusion is riveted by science? Science takes whatever it sees to be real. That is the problem. So that has riveted man's delusion even more. Whatever we see, we take it to be real. And science found itself in its own problems eventually. Because when we see the wall and we take it to be real, and then we put a microscope into the wall, it disappears because it is all space. It is majority space. It is the particles in it forms even not a negligible part of it. So first it is taken to be real, and then we start looking. That's why I told you on the first day, the Jagat they call a Drishta Nashta. Drishta Nashta. How long Shankaracharya Bhagavan told this thing? Drishta Nashta means the moment you start looking into it, it disappears. Everything in the Jagat. Therefore, we should start looking at our brain first. That's where the Abhiman is. The Abhiman is in the brain. You should start looking at that. But anyway, the idea is the Jagat has been taken to be real by science, and then science started looking the Jagat is, and therefore science is still on a delusory course. What is it? Looking for the God particle. Arey, if the Jagat is Drishta Nashta, how you will find the God particle? That's just a nice ruse to spend taxpayers billions of dollars. You could spend $2 for Upanishad. The pairs of opposites which we see is unreal. Look here. This exists? Yes. This exists? Yes. The space in between exists? Yes. There is a distinction between this object and this object? Yes. This is called watch. This is called as microphone. Distinction exists? Yes. If you put them together, there's a line between the two. Line exists? Yes. The color and shape of this exists, and the color and shape of this exists. There is nothing about this thing which you can say doesn't exist. Anything you talk about in relation to these two things, you are talking about existence in that form. Just like I told you, there's clay in the form of all the things in the shop. There is existence here in the form of watch, because the watch exists. There's existence in the form of yellowness, because yellowness exists or not. It exists. There is existence in the form of every single thing which we see. So now, from that standpoint, that's why it says Tattva Darshane. From that standpoint, what is there in the universe? Only existence. And the proof of that is Swami Prakāshānanda actually. If you are talking about this thing exists. You say, no, it has temporary existence. Or a temporariness exists or not? That also exists. It means you cannot escape existence. No matter what you do. We cannot escape existence. Existence in the whole universe. My statement exists or not? If you doubt it, your doubt exists. If you are confused, your confusion exists. That's good. Confusion is a springboard to a lot of good things. So anyway, we see the pairs of opposites, but that is from the standpoint of Jagat. Means you see distinction. So it's like that. The two boys go into the shop, and one of them takes up a clay elephant, and the other one takes up a clay dog. And this one says, my clay elephant is stronger than your clay dog. Or my elephant is stronger than your dog. And they start fighting. But actually from the standpoint of clay, that's called Tattva Darshane. From the standpoint of existence, there is nothing but one Brahman. pure existence. From our Jagat standpoint, from here, well, there's this distinction and that distinction, and there's poor and rich and all the other things. One more thing about that, and before we continue, that's a very important point. If you think, if anybody thinks, and this is why this is where so much of confusion and misunderstanding and all such things cause human beings to get into unnecessary trouble. If anybody thinks that they'll be able to remove any of these pairs of opposites from the Jagat, that is also delusion. Nobody in this universe could remove any of the pairs of opposites, because the pairs of opposites is what defines the universe. In other words, there will always be poverty and there will always be affluence. There will always be peace and there will always be war. Whether it is Ram Ravan Yuddha to now West Bank and Palestine and Israel. And that will go on and on. There is no way to remove any of the pairs of opposites, because the pairs of opposites is what defines the universe. The universe requires the pairs of opposites to proceed. Without the pairs of opposites, the universe cannot transpire. So, the pairs of opposite is what defines universe. But when we look deeper beyond the pairs of opposite, there is the one reality which is called as pure existence. That's called Tattva Darshane. That's why so the one word, Jagat starts the verse, and the next word, Tattva Darshane, ends the verse, the second verse. The couple of verses go together really well. And in between, we have all the distinctions, which we should, of course, learn to live with and learn to appreciate and understand and all that. Guru and Shishya, Vidya and Avidya. So among them, we choose Vidya and we live Vidya, because Vidya will help me to get Tattva Darshana. You choose one, not to destroy one, the other one. You can't remove. You say, you go on some mission. People have all sorts of utopian mission in this world, You go on some mission. We'll remove ignorance from the world. We'll remove poverty from the world. We'll remove whatever you want to remove. You try. You will be removed. You remove this and remove that. Can't remove anything. That's like Archie and his $1 million. Archie get a lamp on the beach, and he rob it, and a genie come out, and the genie walk away. So he but how is the whoa, what is that? You walked away, you're supposed to give me 3 wishes. That genie said, well, I am a freshman genie, I really don't know how to give boons and all that kind of thing. So Archie said, at least 1 boon, if not 3. He said, well, I can try, but I'll tell you, I still have not mastered the art of giving boons. So anything you ask for, I will have to give to everybody else. I could give, but I cannot restrict it to one person. Archie said, no problem, you give. What do you want? $1 million. I want to become a millionaire. So he said, Alakazam. Archie became a millionaire. Then what happened? Everybody else became millionaire. Archie doesn't care about that. But you have to care. You will see now. He got in trouble. He thought, I become millionaire. Now I will go to Hawaii. So he drove his little jalopy to the gas station and said, shout it. Fill it up. What fill it up? All the gas station attendants became millionaire, gone home. Wait, what are you going to do here? You become millionaire, what are you going to do? Pump gas? He come and fill it up himself. Luckily, your gas was there still. Like that, you come out back on the road. By that time, all the traffic light people gone home. So no traffic light working, nothing. Policemen gone home, because all of them became millionaire. All flight attendant or airport people, everybody gone home. Pilot became millionaire. Where you do they? What happened? You remove poverty. You remove poverty from the world, everybody became millionaire. Then the world cannot function. It is such a, that is called the height of murkhata. Murkhata means foolishness. To think or to ever aspire to remove any of the pairs of opposite. You know what it is more like? That's why it is given here. See, there is Vidya and there is avidya. There is guru and there is shishya. There is this pair of opposite and there is that pair of opposite. Arey bhaiya, look here. You aspiring to remove anyone else is foolishness. Foolishness. What you do? You just take one and leave the other. This choice you have. You take the one which is beneficial to you and leave the, instead, between ignorance and knowledge, take knowledge. I remember a very nice incident I had when I was staying in Banaras. Raviji came to visit me one day. So we were riding on a rickshaw, a cycle rickshaw. So something, in Banaras they do things like this. In Banaras they do things like that. They don't do things like how they do here. They live differently. Everything is different. So I was just saying, look at this. I don't know why they do this. He said, hey, you came here for something. You take it and go. You don't come here and say how they should do this and why they do this and why they do that. You came here for something, take that thing and go. What is it? This is such a wonderful, powerful message actually. The Jagat is defined. You came here and you met the pair of opposite. Let the pair of opposite be there. You take what is beneficial to you. Become a shishya. Find a guru. And as human beings in this foolish utopian ideal which we have tried to, not that we should not do. If we are doing with the right understanding, that is a good thing. Doing with the wrong understanding, we are going. That's a wild goose chase. Meaning, in the end, what? When we do with the wrong understanding, it is like living in quicksand. You try to shake out of that, what happened? We go deeper. So we feel that science will find the solution for everything. All technology will find the solution for everything. And are we finding solution? If you could tell me one sector, if anybody could tell me one sector in which human beings have improved, you will be really great. War and peace, have we improved? In 1945, United Nations was formed to stop wars. From 1945 till now, there have been more wars than 700 years before. So in war and peace, we have not improved. Disease and health, we have improved. The hospitals are getting less people or more people? The number of disease and the variety and the different type of things in disease, we have improved. By no stroke of imagination. They are finding disease and the diseases are becoming more high-tech also. Now we have Ebola. Just like you have email and all, Electronic Bola maybe, right? In health and disease, and let me tell you something. The entire medical fraternity and the entire medical field has absolutely no interest in getting anybody well. It is all designed to make money, and the pharmaceutical companies are in cohorts with these doctors and the whole all that, and the intention is not to get anybody well. They have to keep you living till 90. That's why your longevity has been increased. Keep you living until 90 so that somebody has to buy the medicine. So in health and disease we have, think now. Now you see, nowadays we can knowledge and ignorance. Nobody knows what they are eating. Long ago, look here, you plant bodhi behind your house, you know what you're eating. Now, when you buy, you don't know. And yesterday only somebody was telling me how. Yesterday I met somebody who was telling me how the farmers just take all this DDT and all the chemical and they just indiscriminately they throw, and the farmers don't know and they don't care also. They're just throwing things that are banned in other countries are sold here. Knowledge and ignorance, and that's why something called fake news now. Now on all the social media and all, nobody knows what is truth from untruth. How much of ignorance? So knowledge and ignorance, wealth and poverty. The gap is closing or increasing? See, everywhere. Everybody telling you the gap is increasing. So what have we improved in? Security and safety. In the old days, you could sleep with your doors open. So secure and safe. Now with your doors closed, you can't sleep. And the security of the world. Some person will press one button. Ram Naam Satya hai, sab. So, this Jagat, which all the Shastras tell is so unreal, just Nama Rupa, Prasarana, superimposition of name and form, and in Tattva Darshana, in the vision of the reality, just Brahman. This fellow forgets all of this, and what? He takes this Jagat, and that's why I told science had revisited this. Takes this Jagat, this is real. And I'm running after it because I think it's real, and he's running after it because he thinks it's real, and then two of them clash. Now he goes and develops a weapon to make sure that I don't run after it anymore. Right? When he develops a weapon, I say, but he developed a weapon, I go and develop a mega weapon now. What do you think is happening with all the oil and all the politics, of international politics which is going on? This only. Yeah. So, that is because he has taken this Jagat to be reset. Tattva Darshana, it is nothing but Brahman. That means to say we should lift our understanding to what is beyond the names and forms. That is the idea. From that Tattva Darshan, from this vision of the reality, now number 4, see that. Nacha vidya, nacha vidya, jagat chana cha param, satyatvena jagat bhanam, samsarasya pravartakam, nacha vidya, nacha avidya. And from that standpoint, now see, if you could go, if you look at the pot from here, right, you see this height, size, shape, color, this, that, of the pot. Those things usually veil the clay, because when you immediately get caught up with height and size and shape and you see the symmetry of the pot, and so, oh, this pot will fit in that corner of my house, and it is perfect size for that place, and you start seeing that, you forget clay. So the immediately being consumed by all the various nama rupa, we forget the clay. But now, if somehow I could make myself into an atom of clay, that size, I make myself the size of the atom of clay, right? And I go into the pot now. So I become tiny. I saw one movie like that. That fellow became. They put him in some centrifuge or something, and then injected him in some inner space or something. The movie is called. They injected him. That Canadian actor was doing that. They injected him in some person. So now suppose you could become small like the atom of clay, and you go inside that clay pot, right? So you go inside the clay pot means you could only go in the walls of the pot, not inside the pot. No. So you put you inside that. So you can now move between atoms, right? So when you look around, what you will see? Atoms of clay, isn't it? Behind you, top, everywhere, you will see atoms of clay. So from your standpoint, on inside the atoms of clay, you see any height and shape and name and pot and all of these things? No such thing. From clay standpoint, if you were to ask, tell one of the clay atoms, then when you go down there, tell all of them around you, hey, Nice pot. They'll say, what are you talking about? No, from the outside you look like a pot. They'll tell him, you shut up. And if he insists, from the outside you look like a pot, they will. That's like Swami Vivekananda and that frog. Swami Vivekananda tells a nice story of a frog. One frog comes from the ocean. And it comes to a little pond like this. And there's a frog living there. So they talk to each other. They're talking the same language. So he asked, where have you come from? He said, I came from the ocean. He said, how big is the ocean? This big. And this frog jumped from here to here. Is it this big? No, crazy. Much bigger than that. You mean this big? And he jumped there. And he went on jumping. Much bigger. Where is pond and where is ocean? This frog said, you're a liar. He cast him out. Throw him out. Because he only knows pond, that is much as his brain can process. If you tell him anything else. So now here, this is actually what is going on here. See, here we only see all of these names and forms, and this is as much as our brain can process. But here, in that reality, there is no name, no vidya, no nothing. Na jagat cha na cha aparam. There is no jagat and there is no other thing other than jagat also. Because if you want to posit some other thing, because some people come up with some new thing, human brain is like that only. You come up with some new thing. Then, Satyatvena Jagat Bhanam Samsarasya Pravartakam. It means the world which we see is given an appearance and given existence by that reality only. It shines only because of the same Brahman which we are talking about. In other words, it is a substratum which, if it were not there, if that substratum were not there, there will be no Jagat. If the clay is not there, if you go in that shop and you only remove clay, you leave pot name, you leave elephant form, you leave all the forms, and you only remove clay, then everything vanishes, because clay is the only thing that is there, really speaking. There is no other thing. Nama Rupa, they are unreal. Prasadana. So, the whole empirical existence which we see in front of us, that whole thing is really being sustained by, supported by this reality. And this whole empirical existence is what we call a samsara. And we get caught up with the samsara, taking it to be real, and that is the only thing which there is. And we forget the substratum. That is like you get a present and you get taken up with the box. A present comes in a box, and gift paper and ribbon and bow and all that thing. Oh, this bow so nice. This gift paper so nice. Where you get it? This thing come from Peru or what? Because it has llamas on it. So you get so taken up with llama and the bow and this and that. You forget that inside there is a nice present. That will be foolishness. So we get taken up with the samsara in the same way. And behind the samsara there is a most wonderful absolute reality, which is the substratum for the whole samsara. Now the next two verses also go together. All nice technical things are being spoken about. Asatyatvena bhanam tu samsarasya nivartakam ghato yamiti vijñātum niyama konvapekshate Vina pramana sushtutvam yasmin sati padarthadhihi ayam Ātmā nitya siddha pramane sati bhasate. This verse introduces a new topic altogether. I think it's called as pramana. What is pramana? Pramana means means of knowledge. Pramana is a means of knowledge. So now let me tell you how is it. You'll have to see in between the lines. Ghato ayam iti vijñātum niyamaha konva pekshate. Konupekshate, that will be. Ka anupekshate. Anu apekshate. Means to say, in this example, a pot is given, or the watch, right? It says, to know this watch, to know that this is a watch, what pramana is required? To know that it is a watch, in this case a pot, ghataha. What pramana is required? The question is being asked. What is the need for, or how is it known? In other words, vina pramana sushtutvam. All I need is eyes. What pramana is required for to know that this is a watch? Eyes only. If I just didn't have eyes and I had nose, it doesn't smell like watch to me. So means to say, the pramana, once it is there, it, like for example, when you stand in front of a mirror, the mirror cannot say, well, you see, this fellow is not Trini. He's not Trini. He is Veni. And I don't like to reflect Veni, I like to reflect Trini. And so I'm not going to reflect this man. The mirror does not say. The mirror cannot say. The moment you are standing there, the mirror will reflect. Once the pramana, the eye is there and it is open, you cannot help but see this yellow. What you will do? You cannot say, I don't want to see. You are looking at it, but say, I don't want to see yellow. Once the pramana is there, that thing will appear to be yellow, whether you like it or. We're talking about proper pramana. Don't start thinking of people who have jaundice and all that kind of thing. And when you watch this thing now, you see it yellow. Talking about proper pramana. Other people will come up with all sorts of things, That fellow has jaundice, everything is yellow. So, once the pramana is there, the thing will be known automatically. That idea taken now to the conclusion of the verse. Ayam Ātmā nitya siddha pramane sati bhasate. That once the right pramana is there, the Ātmā will shine forth by itself. So this is the idea which is there in the verse. I am just distilling the whole thing because there are so many words there. Once the right pramana is there, this thing will appear to be yellow. You don't have to do anything. Once your eyes are open, your eyes are functioning properly, there is nothing to do. Then, with regard to the Ātmā now, the Ātmā will shine in its own self once the right pramana. So now in this case, now the question is, what is the right pramana? What is the right pramana? I told you pramana means means of knowledge. So what is the means of knowledge for Ātmā? He says, the word is given here. Ayam Ātmā Nitya Siddha. The Ātmā is self-established. The Ātmā does not need any praman to show its existence. What is happening right now is the mind which is there is preventing the Ātmā from shining properly. And which type of mind? The mind which is impure. The mind which is impure is preventing the Ātmā from shining properly. So then what has to happen? That mind has to be made pure. And what is the meaning of making the mind pure? Making the mind pure means just the removal of ajnan from the mind, the removal of the three impurities, mala, vikshepa and avarana. When that impurity is removed from that mind is able to reflect that. In other words, the mind will not have to do anything to reflect the pure Ātmā. So it is as though now the mind is closed. You know, like when the eye is closed, you can't see the yellow. So it's as though the mind is closed with these impurities. When you remove the impurities, then one has to do nothing. Like you have a cloth in front of the mirror. You remove the cloth, the mirror will automatically reflect. So this cloth from the mind of impurities have to be removed. That mind will immediately reflect pure Ātmā. That is the praman. Now it is a praman, it's not a praman also. The means of knowledge is, you see, that is in effect removing the mind. So then there is no praman, because Ātmā is Nitya Siddha, self-established all the time, eternally self-established. It doesn't need anything. So one way to, other way to see that now is, even though the Ātmā is there now and I don't know it, your not knowing it doesn't make it do anything to the Ātmā. It still is there in itself, by itself, with itself. My not knowing it doesn't in any way affect it. Ayam Ātmā Nitya Siddha Pramane Sati Bhasate. When in the acquisition of such a mind, a pure, quiet mind, that Ātmā shines, Pratibhasate. Satyatvena bhanam tu samsarasya nivartakam. It means even the world, asatyatvena, even the world which we see, which we are talking about as being unreal, that world also only exists because the Brahman, the substratum is there. And when that substratum is removed, nivartakam, it disappears. The world also disappears. So that first line actually should have gone with the previous two verses. The topic of pramana starts from the second line actually. Ghato ayamiti vijñātum niyamaha konvapekshate. To know the pot, what pramana is required except proper eyes working. That's why sushtu word is given there. Sushtutvam. Sushtu means good. Your eyes have to be working properly. When the eyes are working properly and the eyes is applied to the object will be known immediately. Of course, remember, eyes are tied to mind. Even though eyes are open and watching and the mind is not there. So when we say the eyes, we mean the eyes, physical eyes, and it's golak in the mind also. Both are we are talking about. We are not talking only about the physical eyes. That mind must be present also. Alright, so when the proper pramana is acquired, and here the pramana will have to be now Shuddha Manaha. Shuddha Manas, pure mind. That will be the proper pramana. A pure mind means a mind. When we say Shuddha Manas, it's a big phrase, Because if the impurities again, That means the mana, we have gotten Gyan to remove that Agyan. So when we say Shuddha, is a big word, many things are included there. You have to study the impurity, the Mala, Vikshepa and Avarana. So a mind that has gone through all the disciplines to remove all of them. And the last one is Agyan, Avarana. The removal of Agyan requires Jnana. So Shuddha Mana means a mind with Jnana. A mind that has imbibed Brahmakara Vritti. All that. This is also a big thing. We'll see more of this tomorrow. I don't think we'll finish this Upanishad. Let us see. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.